Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. Bob Greska of Bob Greska's Carbon 60 is joining us. And the reason for this discussion is that, well, on our channel, we are always interested in new modalities of health and wellness and healing, especially ones that are not endorsed by the pharmaceutical industrial complex. Now, Carbon 60 was just recently discovered back in, I believe, 1985. And the refining process has been getting better and better since then. And it has been used in health and wellness as a major antioxidant for acne, skincare, and for other uses. And Bob Greska, the CEO and founder of Greska C60, has been developing this product for, I think, since 2012. Welcome to the show, Bob.
Yeah, Diamond, nice to be here. Yeah, that's correct. 2012 is when I started producing Carbon 60. And then that's when the big rat study came out where Carbon 60 actually doubled the lifespan of rats in a laboratory when they did some testing. So that was a big kickoff for Carbon 60. And I just happened to develop a process to produce Carbon 60 at the same time. So we ended up starting a supplement business. And yeah, we have clean Carbon 60 and we have a special proprietary method. Carbon 60 helps with your health and and helps with most health issues, either putting it on topically or taking it orally.
So what is the mechanism to create the healing properties?
Well, the mechanism, it's like an antioxidant you find in foods like red wine and berries and so forth. But the breakthrough here, is that I'm able to produce much, much smaller molecules of Carbon 60 compared to the antioxidants you find in food. So Carbon 60 is basically a super antioxidant because it's very, very, very small. Compared to the antioxidants in food, it's like 200,000 times smaller. It's like 10 pounds of snowflakes versus 10 pounds of snowballs. So each snowflake does the same job as a snowball, but it's very much, much, much smaller.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. Now we're talking about Carbon 60. For those that don't know, these are often referred to as buckyballs or Buckminster fullerene. And it was a kind of a revolutionary discovery back in 1985, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big discovery. They've since found it in intergalactic space, and they found it occurs naturally. You're like around a lightning strike around a tree or something like that. The high heat will take the carbon of the that's in the tree and burn it, and then some of it recombines as Carbon 60. They also find it in the old limelights they used in the movie theaters, the ones where they burn carbon rods to create an arc, and that produces a soot which has about 10% Carbon 60 in it. So that's the way most people produce Carbon 60. That's the industrial grade, and then they separate the Carbon 60 from the soot by use of a solvent. But since 2012, I developed a process. We don't use any solvents at all, so we don't have to separate anything. So we're clean, much, much smaller in size.
Does that mean it's a safer product for ingestion?
Yes. All these other products out there have a trace amount of toxicity to them, a trace amount of solvents. It's called toluene. They try to get rid of it. They dry it off. They vacuum oven dry it, or they sublimate it, which is a high temperature process. And it gets rid of more of the solvents, yes. But still, there's a trace amount in there. And the big problem is it causes, well, a little bit of toxicity, but the particle size is very large. 200,000 times, actually, larger than what we make. We're 20 nanometers. And anybody else is they're 1,000 to 2,000 nanometers. So the bioavailability is real important. I mean, they still have good results with it. They got a good antioxidant, basically. But we have a super antioxidant because it's smaller as a size, and that's what the breakthrough is with Greska's Carbon 60.
Now, Bob, other than that mouse study that you referred to earlier, that you said doubled the life of the mice?
Yeah, 90% longer. It was a rat study, and they tried to toxify the rats with the Carbon 60. And they ended up having no tumors or anything like that in their body. And they lived 90% longer than the control group that did not get the Carbon 60. There was also a mice study where they used radiation, a lethal dose of radiation on mice. And the ones without the Carbon 60, they passed. And the ones with the carbon 60, they had no net effect because the radiation basically knocks off electrons off of molecules, which are now free radicals, and the carbon 60 puts them right back on. So, it's kind of like it's a quick on, quick off. So there's net effect is zero. And that's the beauty of carbon 60. Well, it's like magnet. It attracts, like magnets, say the positive charge of the free radical, the molecule missing electron, free radical, and the negative charge of the available electrons on the carbon 60 molecule. It's quite the breakthrough.
Interesting. So that was my question. Are there any other studies? Are there any studies that you know on health and wellness of using C60 for humans?
Well, there's a lot of studies out there. If you can Google carbon 60 and any health issue you want, you're most likely going to find a study on it. Most of them are positive. Some of them are negative because of the solvent issue, but we don't have any solvents or toxicity in our product. So we don't have any reports of, toxicity or anything like that with our product. We keep a record. We have to, we keep a file on it, adverse events. So the file is, virtually empty. A couple of people complain they don't like it because it's black. It's very black liquid because it's full of carbon. It's carbon rich. And some people don't like it because it's black, or a few people, they detoxify and it pushes the toxins out of their body. And they were a little bit skeptical about why do I have diarrhea the first time I took it? That's like 1 in 1,000. If you're that toxic, you're good. You want to get rid of the toxins. But yeah, there's no adverse effects or negative effects, no contraindications with any medications or any nutrients or supplements or foods or anything like that. You can drink the whole bottle. People have, not a problem.
You mean at once?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a guy. He had COVID or something of that time, and he's been a long-time customer. There's the two brothers actually, and one of them, he was literally on his deathbed in the hospital, and so his brother brought him in a bottle of carbon 60. My carbon 60, and he drank the whole thing, which is 1 ounce. It's got 45-day supply. And the next day he walked down to the hospital at 3:00. Yeah. So
that's an interesting
I got thousands of stories and thousands of testimonies. If you want to call us, give us a call. We'll talk about them, specifically your health needs and what you have in question.
Do they have testimonies on the website here?
Yes, we do. We have testimonies on the website. I've got a lot of them. We got thousands of them. I got most of them in my brain, but there's quite a few of them on the website they can look up. And most likely they'll find out, it's either, muscle pain, an organ not functioning, soreness, lack of movement, mobility. It's a lot of things. If there's an organ that's not working as good, it's because there's free radicals in there. And once these molecules are missing an electron, they don't function properly, or they don't function at all. So if you have too many of them, you have them all over your body. And that's natural to have free radicals throughout your body. But if too many of them get congregated in one area, you're going to have a problem in that area. And if you have too many of them, they call it cancer.
Yeah. So tell our listeners today, what are these products we're looking at here on your website? Well, first tell them where the website is, where they can go, and what products do you have?
Yeah, our website is, you can go to C as in carbon, C60.com. Or you could call us direct if you want to call us on the phone at 720-600-6040. But if you go to C60.com, you can get all that information. It's on the website. So that's at C60.com. Yeah, we have some products listed up here. Not all of our products are shown there. We're revamping the website to make it cleaner, easier to use, and so forth. We're missing our oral mist, top oral product, which is carbon 60 in water. But let's go through the basics. We started out with carbon 60 and sunflower oil. Now, there's a lot of negative talk about sunflower oil, but we have a high quality sunflower oil. It doesn't have the omega-6s. It's high in omega-9. So that's a very good product. It's very shelf life stable, and it's very heart healthy. So it's not the negative seed oil that you hear about. This is the good seed oil. This particular brand of sunflower oil is cold pressed and so forth. But that's our flagship initial product, the carbon 60 45-day supply. And we also have carbon 60 now. Due to the negative talk, we say we can't change popular perception. So we came out with carbon 60 and olive oil. So we have that choice too. It's got a little olive oil taste to it, and that's very good. And then we have the carbon 60 topical mist, which is a topical product you can spray on over a muscle, joint, any part of your body. People spray it, for a headache or something like that on the bridge of your nose. It depends what you have going on. People have peripheral nerve pain. They spray it on their feet. And typically, being water-based product, it absorbs in really quickly. You don't have to, your body doesn't have to process the oil off of the carbon 60 molecule as it is when it's in the sunflower oil or the olive oil. So the water-based product goes in real quickly. So we say take the oral supplement orally, and that goes systemic through your entire body. And if you got a local area like a bad knee or a bad liver, you spray it over that liver or spray it over that knee to flood that part of your body with the carbon 60 molecules, and that gives you some pretty good results. What we don't have shown up there is our carbon 60 in water, and this is it right here. And this is
now let me jump in.
Yeah.
The breakthrough, it's a recent breakthrough being able to dissolve carbon 60 in water. That wasn't possible in the early days.
Yeah, everybody says you can't do it, because carbon 60 is actually hydrophobic. It repels water. It's like if you throw some flour on the top of water, it just floats. You can see that it doesn't really absorb into the water. But, I've been a carbon engineer, worked in the aerospace, worked for NASA. And I've been doing carbon for 45 years. So I have a few tricks up my sleeve. I'm a materials and process engineer. And so I am the only one that I know of in the world, because I haven't found anybody else that can mix carbon 60 into water. And so there's no oil, it's 0 calorie, not many calories, but it's still 0. But you don't have to consume any olive oil or sunflower oil. So it's carbon 60 in water as an oral product. It's very similar to the mist product, but the concentration is higher in the oral product. So we get more into your body. Topically, we got a good amount of carbon 60 in there. It's still good. It works good. You can take either one orally, but you get more carbon, more bang for your buck per spray. And this is just 5 sprays under the tongue. So it's real convenient. I have a person that is blind and he likes the cap on it so he can spray it so he doesn't have to, use the dropper with 2 hands and so forth like that. We have in our one of our newer products, and it really took off quite a bit, is our carbon 60 in squalane oil for the face serum. And the women really love this product. I had a gal working for me. She was putting the carbon 60 our flagship product in sunflower oil on her skin, but she's oily for a couple hours because it takes a while for the sunflower oil to absorb in. So she said, I'm going to find a different oil to use. And she found a very high-end, expensive squalane oil. It's derived from sugarcane. And it's a very, as a matter of fact, to the point where people in the cosmetic industry, they only put 2 or 3% in because of its cost. But we put 100% squalane oil in there, and then we add the carbon 60 to it. So you get a really good dose of both the carbon 60, and you just put 6 drops on your face. You don't need a whole lot. That bottle lasts about 6 weeks. All of our products, they're about 6 weeks. You just put it on your face, rub it on there, and just let it set on there, and it absorbs in fairly quickly. That's one of the beauty of the squalane oil and the face serum. It absorbs in fairly quickly, so you can put your makeup on 5 or 10 minutes later if you care to do so.
So any specials or offers on your website for our listeners?
Yes, we do. We've got, if you buy 2 bottles of our carbon 60 in water is the oral product to take orally, take 5 squirts under your tongue. You buy 2 bottles of this, you get a free face serum, and that's a good value. So you just get a free face serum, and we've been selling those like hotcakes to get it out to people. And I have people call. Well, the way the carbon 60 face serum works is you get ultraviolet damage from the sunshine, and that UV light is basically a form of radiation, and it knocks off electrons under your skin, and you get that leathery texture or leathery feel of your skin. And that's because you're missing electrons. You get free radicals in your face, higher concentration of them. So the carbon 60 will go in there and put those electrons back on, and within 2 days, your skin feels so much smoother and so much softer. I mean, it works quickly. I had somebody called me within 24 hours, and she said, "I can't believe it. I can't imagine what it does in a month." And well, what it does, it helps with uh, age spots, like liver spots people have on their skin. It helps with and it diminishes those. Many people have reported they diminish. It helps with acne. I had a gal that was 19 years old or so, and she worked at a restaurant. She had acne on her face, pretty severe, and she said she tried everything. So I go there quite a bit to eat. And so I knew who she was, and I said, "Well, here, try this. Try a bottle of this on the acne, see what happens." Within 10 days, her acne was gone. She said, "I've tried everything out there. There was nothing that works. Boom, your product works." So she was real happy with that. So yeah, so it softens your skin. It helps with fine line and wrinkles over time. Yeah.
Great, Bob. We appreciate you being on the show. And we like the fact that your company is small enough that you're available for all of your customers. It's not just like a website with no one behind it, but an AI bot. You gave us your phone number. It's probably your cell phone number, for goodness sakes.
Well, it rings at my office and a cell phone at the same time. So, I try to pick up the calls as much as I can. If I'm too busy, somebody else picks them up, or if I'm on the phone, and we have that happens to us. So yeah, give us a call. I'll be glad to talk to you about your health issues. Look up carbon 60, Google carbon 60 and your health issue, and see what the results you find. Give me a call. We'll talk you through it. Like I said, I got thousands of testimonies in my head. I can tell you what happened to other people, what they did. And take the oral supplement daily, for 10 days straight up. You will see results within 10 days taking it orally, especially people that are older, that are exposed to a lot of toxins or have toxins. You can't get rid of the toxins in the air, water, and food. Carbon 60 is a super detoxifier. It's like a water filter. You put a carbon water filter on your water to clean up the toxins. Well, this is like a carbon water filter inside your body. It cleans up the toxins. So give it a try. Give us a call, C60.com.
Awesome, Bob. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, thank you, Diamond. Pleasure.